to the guy, "No, I don't have 2 cars. I have 6 cars." And yeah, no, and then
Uh,
that was how I met my mother.
that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm so glad we decided to start taking intermissions after all. I remember way back when I was like, "You guys want to take intermissions?" You were like, "No," and then we didn't. But then we just started doing it anyway.
I love surprise intermission. I think it's a great
Yeah.
thing.
No,
I think they should
it's.
do that in real theater, but they just
I
turn
feel
all the
like it's.
lights on halfway through a play.
Oh, I guess we're.
"What did you do with my wife?" Click. "Oh,
The lights are
intermission."
flickering again.
See you at 15.
That's how you do a
Um,
cliffhanger, right? You just stop in the
yeah,
middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
that's how I do it.
I love it.
Okay, so I was walking. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Where were
looking
we?
for totems. I'm looking for totems. We just eaten a bunch of spicy beans, and I was reminded as I'm feeling these feelings of like doing magic correctly, that feels the similar way of how I feel my orangutan, which don't take that out of context. So I was thinking of like guardians and totems and like magic things like that. So now I am looking for basic books, your basic fare on totems, guardians, and familiars.
Yeah. Yeah. Beings to which you channel your magical energy.
Yeah, but like, a totem for me, at least from what my understanding would be, is like a creature or symbol that protects you from other things. And he said guardians, if you're wearing robes, guardians don't attack you. And I realized that my orangutan attacked all my friends who were trying to, help me out, but the orangutan didn't understand that. So maybe he's some sort of guardian I manifested that I didn't flipping want.
Okay. I would like you to make one last brains roll. And I'm going to be nicer about how it goes down.
With advantage.
Because
Is that what you said? Did I hear that correctly? One last brains roll with advantage.
yeah, you know what? Let's go that route. Let's pull a rule from D&D because how we love house rules here.
Actually, who
So
has
do a
advantage
brains
right now?
roll with advantage because you know what you're looking for. You really do. You have a specific thing in mind. Um, it's just a matter of being able to recognize the book jacket, I guess. So yeah,
Okay.
give me two brains rolls and then tell me what the higher one was.
Okay. Well, I exploded on the first one, so I guess that's useless. I got a 12 and then a 1 for my first roll, so a 13. And my second roll is a 12. Are you kidding me? And then a 6. So I will take the 18.
Oh hell! All right. Um, I'm gonna say that you find your way into the section on it's adjacent to that of magical beings are that of familiars and channels and I still can't think of the word I'm trying to come up with but you know those who aid the endeavors of witches wizards and warlocks uh, who often take the form of a beast of some sort. You find your way in that
I'm
section,
planning.
and I mean, you've got so many books to choose from that you can absolutely pick whichever one you feel is the right one. And yeah, you've got your plethora to choose from. So I'm going to leave it to the chat to help me come up with a book to replace his copy of Among the Orangutans, Life is Better with Orangutans, Animal Nature Collection, which is an actual book. Thank you, Miss DNL, for that one. House points for Sapphire. Um,
Oh, I'm taking both books. Obviously, he still needs to eat orangutan food.
okay, great. So you got that one, and now you're finding out the mystical side of it. Um, Alex, I'm going to say that you're joining JJ, but we're going to come back to you later because I think it's about time we head back to defensive magic for round 3. Okay. How you feeling, Paris?
I mean, I feel good. I'm back in my seat, and everybody else is doing their little duels with the teacher, right? Or I guess against Hank,
Almost
unless
right.
nobody
There's no
else is going
seats.
against Hank.
You're on your feet. But you're super cool that you're leaning against the wall like a boss. But yes. you are with the crowd. Everyone has done round 2 with Hank. This is when I'm going to go ahead and say that the room has been smattered a bit. It's still wet in some spots. It's been air dried in others. At one point, this one kid was attacked with 4 jets of fire that were shaped like animals in the air that waited and then pounced on him. And didn't do any major damage, but man, was that cool. So now, Professor Samanfi has said, all right, the class is progressing rather nicely, and we're going to get into the finer details of every spell as we continue on further. But again, just after today's events, I think it might benefit us to not only learn how to defend ourselves, but maybe how to take the offense should the occasion arise. They say the best offense is good defense, but personally, I think sometimes a good defense is a nice offense. So, Miss Paris, if you're still willing, I would like you to maybe try your hand at attacking Hank. Hank, you up for it? And Hank has that nervous expression that he always has once again. But it's up to you, dear. I'm not encouraging anyone to harm each other. I am not encouraging anyone to do anything outside their comfort zone. And I am not encouraging anyone that sees an opportunity other than that to learn and practice in a safe environment, okay?
I mean, I'm willing, but I also don't want to hurt Hank. I feel like, especially, has he won any of his little duels against anybody else in the class?
Yeah.
He has.
I mean, Hank is an agent of chaos, so the odds are he's done it. I mean, it's just a matter of odds with him. So yeah, he's bested people. He bested you, I think.
Yeah, for one of them.
He broke your compact, at least.
Yeah, he broke my compact. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Screw it. Let's do it.
In breaking your compact.
I mean, there's plenty more of where those came from, but it wasn't my special compact, so it's all good. But yeah, no, let's do it then. Great, let's practice.
Okay. Right. Now, because this is a defensive magic class, I'm going to qualify this activity, this exercise, with the reminder, Paris, everyone, that Hank is absolutely allowed to counter your attack appropriately. So, don't drop your guard. That's the lesson here. Take it away. All right. So Hank will be firing first.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. You will be firing first.
Pretty sure Harvey shot first.
I was like, okay, we're doing reverse psychology here.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm used to the normal format here. Yeah.
Sure.
But I will still give you what you're up against to hit him. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna put the D20 away. You don't have to worry about that one no more. He's back to his old D12 self again, okay?
Okay.
All right. You may fire when ready.
Now, when I'm attacking, just to clarify, is my attack always a fight, or can I use a different thing while I'm attacking?
You absolutely can. Is this something you're asking the teacher or me?
I guess, but both.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you ask the teacher how you should approach attacking. And she says, just like before, there's the usual tactics in which you cast bolts of energy or concentrated light, like the charms class. Remember, I was referring to your charms class from years ago, where you created sparks you can always crank up the heat on those sparks, or you can concentrate them, or you can give them a little bit of oomph behind them. Or, yes, you can absolutely be more creative. And I know that you are creative. I've seen you come up with some very impressive things all on your own. So if you want to make a fireball, or if you want to create a mirror image like you tried to do earlier, but by creating projections of yourself around the room, or if you want to create a blade made out of shadow, whatever you feel like doing, it's up to you and your intention. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going back to our basics, everyone. We're just doing it in an instant. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess not I guess. I know my strongest suit would be charms. So I would like to
Well,
charm this
describe
boy.
what you're doing.
I'm winking at him, and then I'm saying, "Wow, that's some nice blonde hair. I don't see any green tones in it at all. You must not like chlorine." And so then I bat my eyelids and I blow a kiss in his direction,
Oh
and I
my
use my
God.
charm, and I get he's just, so in such awe that he's getting this response from me. I get a 13 and a 1, so I get a 14.
That's not fair.
Is that not how I'm supposed to do it? I asked.
It's fair in Love and War.
You're supposed to cast a spell.
Oh, it was a love spell of charm. Love.
Oh, so what are you trying to do? Exactly.
Distract
What is
him.
the
So he gets thrown off balance.
Like disorient him with her
Yeah.
charm.
Okay, so you are trying to get him to be so smitten by you that it's distracting.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. That's not quite the activity we're going for here, but
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Hey, he went invisible. This is like turning invisible, except
He still made a physical
She's
attack.
turning herself visible.
Okay. You know what? That's all right. We'll bring that back a little bit.
You don't, I mean, I've got a lecture planned if you want.
I have, if I need to physically fight, which I can do that, and fight against him, so I could only use my fight. I could literally try and with my magic wand take the bobby pins that I have in my bag and attack him with my bobby pins, like a bunch of little needles at him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is that more
Okay.
of what we're doing with Defense Against the Dark or Defense class? Defensive magic?
Here's what I'm gonna say you do. Because I do not want to discourage what you decide to do, any of you. You guys are great. But just understand that this is how I'm gonna manipulate it for the purposes of this class.
Sure.
So you attempt to woo him into being distracted. So what you're doing, I'll let you do the charm thing, but as a physical attack, you're attempting to get his heart to skip a beat. Okay.
Okay.
So what was your roll?
It was a 13 plus 1, so it was a 14.
14. Okay, so he countered with a 12 all the while. So you get him.
Oh my God, did I make his heart stop?
You made his heart skip a beat, and he's like,
killed him.
Like this girl. And granted, you've been impressive and flaunting it. So
now he's
a little thrown off guard because he's not sure if it's where the emotion is coming from. If he's like, maybe I'm actually into her.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
crush this man.
So you throw him off his game a little bit, but because we didn't see a physical attack, that you then follow up with throwing bobby pins at him, physical bobby pins with your wand. Yeah.
Yes.
Make that roll now, because we're gonna do this again.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Just making sure I am indeed rolling the correct ones. Okay. Oh, I got a 7 and then I exploded my magic. 4. So I roll that one again, right?
Yes.
And I got a 3.
11.
So that's 7 and what I say 7. So that's 14.
14. Awesome. So if anyone was paying attention, they might have noticed that I said that he was back to his old D12 self again. and he had rolled a 12 all the while. So what should have happened is he should have exploded. And I let it pass because I really like what you're doing. I love the creativity that you're doing, and I want to keep it going. The second time he exploded, though, I had to keep going with that one. So he rolled a 22.
This is what
He absolutely beat you. He sees the bobby pins coming, and he counters by flinging them back at you.
Oh boy.
So that you don't get hit with these, Professor Samanfi drops you prone. So you just hit the floor.
Okay.
All right. So you're now on the ground. Yeah, a little bit of a disadvantage there.
Gotcha. Am I still
Mhm.
fighting? Or
Yes.
no?
Yep.
Okay.
And she reminds you, you get three more spells.
Okay. I'm on the floor now. Okay, well, what was I good at? I was good at the, let's see, the flying
Tell
class,
me,
but
just tell me what you'd like to do. Again, this is a safe place to practice. So come up with whatever nonsensical thing you feel like doing at him, and I will tell you which category it falls under.
well, he used his whole thing of being where I couldn't see him like a little ghost. So can I now make him blind by spraying some of my perfume in his eyes? But like with my magic wand, I'll push the perfume into his eyes from the
Oh,
ground.
let's cut out the middleman here, Katie, and say that you can
Okay.
create a mist of perfume from your wand.
Yeah,
I love your
that's what I
resourcefulness.
meant.
I
There
really
you go.
do.
That's what I meant.
But yeah, let's just make this quicker and easier on you, okay?
Okay.
So you spray a fragrant mist from your wand in his general direction. So his guard is up at 11. He's good at it. He's like he's done this before.
Okay.
So what do you roll? And for this, I don't know why I want to call this grit. I don't know why I want to call it grit, like an offensive grit, I guess. But
Okay. Great.
you're like musk, just
Yeah. Well, I have all those expired perfumes
essence.
in my bag, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's
Oh,
like
sorry, this guy went off the side.
you're attacking him with endorphins. It's just like
All right, I got a 9, and then I got a 4 on my magic, so that means I roll again. Explode. I explode! 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
you got it. Like you don't have to keep
And-
going.
And I got a 1. Okay.
Yes. You
Fine.
I
must
just wanted to
go.
finish my
17,
roll.
18.
Yeah.
What if you know if she
Um,
accidentally murders him if she gets so high?
We were just
Okay.
practicing.
This is awesome. So Hank, the counter he was prepared was energy absorption, so which was the absolute wrong one to take. So he just takes it all in, but it doesn't come out anywhere. It doesn't pass through him. It just engulfs him. But in doing so, that comes from him trying to absorb it all does reflect a little bit back on you. So he's dazed, and you're a little verklempt as well.
Gotcha.
No harm done. No harm done.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
attack number 3. And Professor Samanfi says, very creative. And then students I love that his mind goes to everything but wand spells. Another one's like, those must have been some strong endorphins.
I
No.
knew more. We know the
People are
you got
commenting on your
charms.
creative tactics.
There were neutral stances for charms. Can I do the charms? Because I was good at the little color sparks thing in charms. Can I shoot that at him?
You want to blast colorful sparks? Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Great.
Um,
Let's do that.
this is gonna be a fight roll because you were just blasting energy at him.
All right. Okay.
And remember, you've got perks for your fight spells with a wand.
Okay. Well, hopefully that helps me because right now I just have a 1 and a 1.
Okay, so you rolled a 2. You get a bonus that makes 3, and your wand gets 5. So you what color is it?
the colors that I've shot at him are gonna be some pastels. It's a little rainbow, I'd say probably like a pastel pink, yellow, and like a sea green.
All right, pink, yellow, and green. Sorry, pink, yellow, and green. Uh, come at him in rapid succession. I like that you said that. So you know what? I'm gonna let you cast your magic die 2 more times. Do it.
Okay.
Ooh.
4. So I can explode, so this is still the same little turn?
Yep. Do it, do
Okay,
it, do it.
and then just a 1, so that's a 5. And then 4. So we got another explosion.
Oh my god, I'm watching
And a
you
3.
too. This is the best.
So
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So add 12,
Uh,
right?
sure. But the last one just gets him. It just singes him enough to where he feels the effect. And this time, yeah, the attack just straight up hits him. You know what? And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna pay attention to what was gonna happen because you, however, are kind of just pretty colors. You know, you're kind of impressed with yourself, right? Yeah.
I don't feel bad. I hit
So
him. All right.
you don't feel bad. You don't feel bad. You hit him. You don't see that he might counterattack, but he doesn't anyway.
Oh,
So whatever.
okay.
Sorry, guys. This is what the dice told me.
That's great.
One last shot at him. And Professor Mensing is okay. All right, you are clearly very talented, Paris, and very enthusiastic. I would like you to take a strong stance and make a proper offensive attack at Mr. Hyman. Okay, be gentle.
Okay.
Go do whatever you want.
So what would you like me
Do
I might just run towards him and physically attack him? I'm not sure. I'm not
no,
sure
do
what
whatever
a
you
proper
just.
attack is.
So far you've sprayed him in the eyes with mist. You have and what was the first thing you did? You tried to stop his heart by flirting with him in a way.
Yeah.
So she's recognizing that you're very creative. For the sake of the rest of the class, she's hoping that you might do something just a little more straightforward, like you just did. That's all. But honestly, you can do you. So
Okay.
she had
Great.
mentioned that you can create a sword, you can attack with blasts of energy, that you can create a fireball, you can create whatever.
What would be Paris's worst fear? Make him face your worst fear.
Well, her fears of bad dye jobs and not proper skincare. So, can I put boils? Can I use magic to put boils on his face?
Yes, you may.
All right. I don't know what it is, but that's just magic out the wand. Okay.
Oh man, this poor kid. It's a good thing he's tough, because I feel like it's almost unfair. Parrish, this guy has been putting up shields and bubbles and protective barriers, thinking that you're going to attack him, like you just did. So you're not being totally out of line. But because he was not preparing for a skin condition, you got to beat a 3.
And what shall I roll for this type of
Oh God.
attack, sir?
Oof.
Is this a charm?
I think it is.
I think it is too. Hey, you never know. Miracles could happen, buddy. I could roll a 2, like a 1 and a
Well,
1.
you also have by virtue of being good at transfiguration, you're really good. You get a +1 to this roll anyway.
Critical fail would still ruin this guy's day.
Oh my gosh. I got a 2 and a 1. So thank God, because I got I got a 4. Woo, all right, I got 4. Woo. That was actually much closer than it should have been on a 20.
You revert
Wow.
poor Hank back to his teenage years as pimples sprout across his face.
Oh.
And he's a little embarrassed that the pretty girl has bested him in such a personal way.
No, ruined this man's career.
Beautiful.
However, Professor Samafi, who is also very into changing appearances, is kind of delighted. She's this very creative Paris, very creative, and she walks up to poor Hyman, Mr. Hyman, poor Hank, and says like, and And you, Hank, as always, did a fantastic job. Thank you. A round of applause. And she fixes his face for him just by going like
Okay,
that.
yeah, good. There
And
you go.
see, and
Proactive or declarative
yeah,
or
and I
whatever.
just, her
Or declarative,
fingers
whatever.
glow. She doesn't use a wand. Her fingers glow as she removes the boils. And then you hear her, and you, because it's you, and you're hear her say, "There, everyone's pretty again."
Oh my god.
Round of applause for Paris. Round of applause for Hank. Hank still is going to be up here though for our next volunteer, and she calls the next student. All right. So with that in mind, let's return to herbology, which is also still in session. All right. So you're in the middle of taking notes. Winter Sweet was also used by the ancient Greeks, not to crown warriors, but to crown newly married couples. So, love and joy, but mostly for family settings. Don't, your teens, just don't. Yeah, and it's a lot like oregano, but it's milder and a little sweeter. So, it's your actions are going to be a little more positive with this. So yeah, winter sweet, marjoram, it's a nice spell. Now, mint. There's a whole variety of mints out there, and they're all good for pretty much the same thing. I use it personally just when I've got like headaches or stomach aches. It's really good for digestion. But you might use it just for your all-purpose. I just want to sweeten the deal on prosperity, joy, love, purification, blah, 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 blah. Same old, right? Now, here's one that's actually a little special. And a student's like, I'm sorry, sweet time? And he says, no. That was winter sweet, marjoram, and then mint. And then this one is Artemisia. Oh, Artemisia. Greek. It's Greek. Artemisia. Sometimes called mugwort, sometimes called sailor's tobacco, but no one who's cool uses tobacco. The decoction of these leaves can open your mind before acts of divination. It's great for getting prophetic dreams, and then just in the day-to-day into relaxing your mind and your whole self, really. We also use it for banishing and consecration spells, but it's really good as like an appetizer before divination. Okay. And other students are asking questions now about like, okay, but red mint or blue mint? And says, again, there's a whole variety of mints. They all kind of do much the same thing. Now, nutmeg is another one that people are known. We all have it in our kitchen cupboards, but just be mindful that if you try to use it for spells, it's really toxic in large doses. So be mindful. This is also good for psychic abilities. Again, happiness, health, love, money, yada yada yada. And also for digestion problems. You'll find a lot of these herbs kind of do the same thing. Normals don't realize it, but just by ingesting a magic herb, usually their stomachs feel better and they're just like in a better mood. Obviously, your dishes taste better, and that's not a coincidence. But yeah, nutmeg for psychic abilities. I think that's why it was really popular around Christmas, because everyone was trying to think about their presents. So they would sprinkle nutmeg into everything. Okay, so another one for the ancient Greeks. Parsley was sprinkled on corpses to neutralize the smell of decay. And also, for making crowns, they would throw that in the crowns as well. But I thought the first thing was good to know. Yeah.
Can we make like more bags than one? If we make like 3 bags and carry it with us, we get like 3 separate cool things that happen.
Yeah, I mean, you can have separate bags for separate purposes. So be mindful that they don't counteract each other. You'll notice that a lot of these things have similar effects, with happiness and health and love and prosperity. So if your intention is to really focus on prosperity, but you accidentally keep doubling up on something that also is good for health, and maybe you're actually bringing on the energies to promote your good health when your focus is trying to be somewhere else. So just keep these things in mind. Another student is getting really excited, asking questions like, cloves as well. Like, is the mixture, like, we label our mixtures? And this is when, like, as people are starting to speak up more, Euphemia is jumping in with questions, and she's like, "Are you not really getting any of this? Like, these are all these are all plants that like you can just like on the earth, like, and you grow them in your garden. But like, are we supposed to grow them, or can we use the spice rack? She's interrupting while everyone's talking. She's interrupting to talk to you, Hanahi, and asking you for help.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we can grow these ourselves. I mean, I think that if they're dried, they're going to be slightly more potent, right, than fresh herbs,
Oh my god, I
or more
completely had that backwards. I was so
concentrated.
much, yeah, I was worried about like having like if I overwatered them or something, and he said that we shouldn't pluck them, so I thought growing them was the better way to do it. Is it not?
I mean, you have to grow them to begin with, but I think, yeah, if you're going to use them in a spell, you want to use actually dried rather than fresh.
Oh, oh my god. Okay, thank you. Oh, oh.
You would use fresh more for cooking, I think.
I had that
Anyway.
completely backwards. Um, God. So like, what are you like? Are you getting ideas?
Yeah, but I'm embarrassed. I kind of want to ask
I
what
mean, you can ask me. I think the weird stuff is super cool. So if it's something weird, I'll probably really like it.
it's not really weird. I just want to know, like, if I wanted to make a sachet for like a love spell, I'm not sure what herbs I would
Uh,
put in there.
well, and that's the thing. He says like a lot of them do that, but he's just blazing over the ones that
Yeah,
because like a lot of them do the same thing, and so he just blazes over it. But none of them has he mentioned one that's like about love. Like, he's mentioned divination a bunch. But
yeah,
I want to know. And she raises her hand to ask, like, um, so you mentioned a lot of these spells are really good for protection or for divination. Are there any that are like really good for love spells specifically? And um, and he's like, oh well, yeah. Let me like get down the list. I'm sure there's one. I mean, there's got to be, right? Like, and I can go back and just, you know what? Do you want me to go back and just recount all of the ones that are good for love? Because I get it. You're teenagers. You're experimenting. This is normal. I'll tell you. You know, is that a yes from you, Anaheat?
yeah.
Okay. Is that a yes from the chat? The chat was in the middle. The other students in the room were asking about foreign spices from other countries, which he's kind of thrown off by because, well, I mean, there's so many,
This
that I
also
was just
isn't
trying to
really his
start local.
subject, you know? He's
Yeah, it's
like,
not really my subject. So I was just going to start local. Like when we get into trees, I was going to focus on the ones outside first. And another student's like, oh, yeah, goji berries are good for temperament or to cool one's heated core. Wow, this student knows stuff. Tong La is a herb that is, it's a leafy green, and he's like, okay, all right, well, all right, let me just try to get things back on track here. All right, everyone, because you're kids, I know what you're in for. All right, love, and he's going down his list. All right, allspice berries, St. Joseph's wort. Do you want the real names, Anahit? Sorry, Liana.
Yes.
Fun. Awesome. We're doing it, guys. Okay, so allspice, basil. I'm going through all of my notes.
bar pizza ingredients.
Calendula, not marigold.
Which is a
Not marigold,
flower.
not marigold.
Yeah.
Calendula flower. Cinnamon's a good boost for anything, and cinnamon and ginger are all about heating things up. So, I like to throw that one in there. The student's like rosemary, and he's kind of like the teacher's a little like, okay, why don't you just teach the class?
Yeah, who is
Right.
the student? The student is me.
Yeah, her name is Ariel, and she's amazing.
Aw.
Yeah. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, ginger root. So okay, where was I? Marjoram, mint, nutmeg. Parsley's good for lust, so I'm not saying to throw that in the pot. Rosemary is pretty good. Like I think it's more about wisdom and improving memory, overall health and healing, that bag. But yeah, what I love about rosemary, it's a lot like sage, where it's a cleansing herb. But unlike sage, which is pretty much like just using bleach, rosemary keeps the positive energy. So yeah, if you're in a bad relationship, and he's now talking to the student, girl, if you're in a bad relationship, yeah, use rosemary and just keep the good times. But if you're in a bad relationship, sage that guy. Okay, get him out. Yeah, and then verbena is just an all-purpose herb for any charm bag or spell to encourage success. So I throw that in with everything, but it's not necessarily love forward. Back on that note, yeah, Yarway, or that's a good one, and yeah, we'll call it there. I feel like that's enough. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to see teens making out in the halls all over the place. Okay, and we're talking true love, true, honest love here. Okay. This is
What
not a
happens?
love potion we're talking about.
But yeah, like what happens if you give a love spell, like an herbal love spell to somebody who's like not good for you though? What would happen?
Well, I discourage, in fact, I'm just going to say on behalf of the entire school, we all discourage manipulating the emotions or intentions of others. And he says that with a bit of sincerity. Like, he's been very playful this whole time. But like that's a thing that is has a little more weight to it. As he looks around the room. And look, I'm not saying, you all don't have your own approach to things, but I think that everyone should consider how not okay it is to manipulate the intentions or emotions of somebody else, okay? If you want to create a nice, warm, inviting environment for them, by all means, that's great. This student goes, oh, don't forget, primrose petals, honey, it's girl. I'm girl. I'm going to write that down later. Thank you. I appreciate that. But let me make my point.
Wait, can
We
I
at
say
Haven Hearth,
something?
all of your faculty, don't want you creating love spells, which aren't really love spells. You cannot fake it. Okay, that's a lust spell. That's a whole other bag. But if you're here if you want to open your energy and your environment to true love, you can use these herbs. But that's all you're doing. You're opening the energies, because that's what magic is, to accept and to draw forth love. We're not making it. That's not what's happening. Yes, what do you want to say?
I wanted to say something out of character, actually.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. No, because Ariel was mentioning honey, and like when I was a teenager, I totally did a honey spell. Guy that I had a crush on.
Oh my
You have to like
gosh.
put.
So,
You
no.
have to.
Wait, Liana,
What?
pause.
Sorry.
So Effie turns to you. Oh my, are you making a love spell? Have you ever made a love spell before?
I guess my character also has, so sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Do it. Tell us about it in character.
When I was like,
No, because
like
Effie is all about this.
it was a couple years ago. A boy in my class, and he was really cute, and he was friends with one of my friends, and but he didn't really like talk a lot, but like we talked to each other, but he was just kind of shy, and I just thought he was really cute. So I had this book, and it had a spell in it that was like a love spell to like make somebody think about you in that way. And so I wrote, you have to write the person's name on a popsicle stick, and then you write your name on the other side of it. And then you put it in a jar with honey and water. And then you have to you shake it and you say, sweet, sweet thoughts of me, you will think constantly. And then you leave it. You leave it out for like a few days. And then you have to get rid of the honey and the water. But yeah. I don't know if it worked.
Wow.
He did talk to
Wow.
me more after that, but we didn't get
Okay,
maybe I
but
did it wrong.
I mean, you weren't it's not like you were like brainwashing him or tricking him, right? Like, I mean, and the girl who's been sitting behind you leans into the conversation, and she's like, love potions won't work on someone if they're already in love with another, and then leans back and keeps paying attention to the class. And so Effie's like, yeah, because I've like I've heard that about love spells that because I want to know when someone's actually into me and not that they're being controlled by some outside force or something.
Yeah, it would be nice to learn diplomacy too, so you could know boys' thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, it would. The professor's going on. Okay, all right. So sage, remember, it's used for combat purification and protection, but also wisdom and health. Just you don't need to only use sage. Okay, there's only so much out there. For the love of God, let the indigenous people use white sage. Okay, it's not for you. Lastly, verbania, not lastly, verbania, or also vermain, enchanter's herb, herb of grace, van. This one's got so many names because this is the all-purpose herb for any charm bag to have success. So I encourage you all to throw a little bit of that into our bags that we're going to be making today. The only one we don't have available to us is milfoil because the silvery foliage are usually harvested in late summer. Now is late summer, and it's used traditionally as a poultice to stop, bleeding when people get injured, and we needed it. So yeah, they usually harvest late summer. It's totally normal that we'll run out of it this time. Now those are the herbs that are all in front of you.
Wait, Kevin, sorry. What was that called again? The one you just said.
That last one?
Yeah.
It's got 3 names: milfoil, yarroway, or bloodwort.
Oh, right.
Depending on what language you're hearing me say it in.
Okay.
So these are all of the herbs that you have available to you for today's assignment, which you're going to work with your partner sitting with you. Everyone turn and meet your friend. You guys are new besties now. And you are going to make sachets for positive energy. With each other, for each other, whatever you want to do. You can put it on your door, you can carry it around with you, but this is your little token for a good first day. You have all these herbs, and there's 3 more I want to point out that are around you, okay? That a lot of people tend to overlook. And and if you look out your window, you will see them all. So everyone kind of looks to the window, and that's moss, ferns, and grass. Everyone forgets about grass, but it's everywhere because people are trying to capture serenity. You ever just lie down in the grass and you just forget about everything?
I get itchy.
That's what grass is. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I get itchy when I lay in the grass.
Oh man, me too, man.
Oh, I'm glad we're partners.
Me too.
So another Ariel behind you raises her hand and says, "Will any of the rose quartz or clear quartz be a substitute if we can't attain certain herbs?" And he says, "Okay, yeah, that's Professor Temerant's class on stones. That's another branch of green magic. Obviously, you recognize that they are similar, but in this class, we're trying to be more focused, so we're only going to use herbs for our sachets today. Okay?" Wow, someone really does have that green thumb. And Liana, just so you know, moss is very tenacious. It grows in the oddest places. It can grow pretty much anywhere, so it's all about perseverance, patience, serenity, calm, nurturing, grounding oneself. Ferns are about love, chastity,
Oh boy.
but also, and this weirds me out, invisibility, unlocking doors, and protection from evil. So I don't know what that means. And that's why the teacher didn't say it out loud to the class of teenagers. But I'll let you know that.
Okay.
All right, so that's your assignment. And I would like to go back to the boys, but we're out of time for today's session.
Wow.
Sorry, gents. Yeah, so we will pick up in the library and find out what JJ is discovering about his magical creature. And if Alex is... I can't wait to find out what you're doing, Alex.
He's got a book.
Yeah, we're going to find out what book it is. Next time on Walk on Rules, Dungeons and Detentions. But before we go, we need to award inspiration. And you might be asking yourself, oh, wait a minute, didn't we do that last time and no inspiration was awarded? That's because our own Liana Manassian used herbology so effectively that it completely changed the course of the game. She brought in her own knowledge. She did a tarot reading for us, so it was kind of a landslide win for you to get your inspiration. But I knew that you wouldn't be casting any spells or doing any rolls in your class today. So, because I'm trying to abide by the rule of not letting them over, I'm deciding to award it to you now, and you will have it for next session. But that does not mean that she can't win it a second time, or that Alex, JJ, or Paris can also earn inspiration tonight. So you guys in the chat, sound off on your favorite moments while we sound off on ours. I loved this session, y'all. I hope you did too.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. This is a lot. This is interesting. I feel like
this was a lot. I will not be breaking the party up a whole heck of much after this go of it. But I really wanted you guys to get to know your characters better on your own. And I feel like we're doing that. I'm loving JJ's journey that he's on now with his orangutan and getting to know this magical part of him.
Yeah, that was interesting. I definitely appreciated that, figuring that out and feeling that feeling. So that was kind of cool, and I'm interested about the guardians and the totems. Feel like I shafted Alex into coming into the library with me, and he basically just had to find a book about history, which he did okay at.
But this is very much Alex. Alex is always up looking for new things. He's admitted that to the guy who was the head of investigation for the royal family. That I went to snooping and I found stuff because I'm good at it. And here he is doing it again, for all I can tell. He's just getting around and seeing what's out there. I love it. That's very Alex. I feel like everybody's kind of in their element tonight. Because Anahit, Liana, you and I talked about your interest in herbology, and Anahit's very much interested in it as well, and she's very effective with it. And I think just now she might be a little more effective because she's getting the deets.
Getting them sweet deets.
Yeah. And the fact that I can grow stuff in my own garden, like even in my room in the dorm, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, you guys are first years. You are all on the first floor with other first years. I don't know if any of you ever mentioned that you went looking around your homeroom towers. Did anyone?
No.
Okay, because Alex, you were looking for stuff outside your tower.
Yeah.
I thought when you were sending Alex to go look for something, I thought he was going to go find another freaking staircase or a wall. I was just waiting for a door handle. Then when he said book, I was like, oh, I thought you were going to go find a door. I was like, God damn it, but wishful thinking.
I love Paris's dueling session.
I do too.
Yeah.
You're so creative. You're so creative. You think outside the box all the time.
I think
you never think
also
inside the
don't
box.
know of all the spells, so I'm just doing what I know.
You're using your instincts and you're finding the spells. You are finding new ones,
I think that's
that kind of thing.
Combining magic and non-magic in creative ways, which is fun. So
I think that's the thing I like about this combat system, at least from what I'm seeing from this duel, is that you can sort of imagine any kind of attack.
Yes.
So I thought that was really fun to watch you, Hi Sable.
Yeah.
To watch you kind of figure that out.
That is a feature of Kids on Brooms. They're unlike other tabletop role playing games. You do not have a set list of abilities. It's very soft magic here, and that it's sky's the limit. It's whatever you guys do. I just then have to categorize that to tell you how it plays out. But you can do anything your creative little hearts desire. And Paris, you come up with awesome stuff. Your attacks and your defense were both very interesting. I gave a short list of spells, and you didn't need them.
The blanket was really cool. The periwinkle blue cape was neat. I liked that. I'm liking Euphemia and Anahit's relationship. I thought that was fun conversation. I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed them kind of giggling about boys, and it just feels very actual for kids at school. So I thought that was fun. It's been a long time since I've been in a flippin' science class where everybody sits at tables. So
Yeah.
it was cool to like reimagine what that was like with like everybody being around like 13, 14 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when the talkative one gets called out, and then everyone's like, that was never
Mhm.
me, but I'd always have somebody be the talkative one next to me, and then I'd get in trouble, and I'd be like, damn. But I was brought back to that moment when you guys were having your little back and forth.
Believe it or
There-
not, I used to get in trouble for talking.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
By the
enjoyed.
way, so many house points to Ariel for all of that amazing info. They will all be
Yeah.
counted accordingly. And I'd just like to also mention on that, just while we're on that same note, that Anahi, you inspired the class before it even started, and then we're also dishing out information to your lab partner. So like you did that in the same thing, just in a much more subtle approach than old Liana did. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you've learned. I enjoyed chatting with Alex and sort of figuring out. I like this kind of track that we're on of trying to find out where this school is located, and I feel like I've got a purpose, of like now we've got ferns and moss and stuff, and I'm excited to ask Anahit about all the plants around us and what parts of the world they're found in. I'm looking forward to that next week. But I like this camaraderie that we have. Alex and I being stuck on the same track, so that
Yeah.
was fun. Uh,
Or even like when you guys were in the class and it was like, oh, I'm not Jim. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
Fred. But we don't want to talk about it. Oh,
You
okay.
disappear and then you
And you're
vanish.
like, yeah, okay.
That gif of like Homer like backing
Yeah.
up into the bush, like
What was his name? Oh yeah, it's Small Fred.
Fred.
It's supposed to be Jim.
Fred.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, small Fred.
Yeah,
Oh my
but they look
God.
exactly the same.
Yep, exactly.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a really good time. I thought that was fun. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the session. I liked where
great.
everybody was at, and even though we are all separated mostly, it was kind of cool to be stuck in everybody's little world for a little bit, and I loved
Maybe
the
we'll be able to
dueling.
use some of these powers to like help Alex find a familiar, whether it's a plant or like figuring out like how to get him something that's not a deadly thing that could potentially kill everyone,
Yeah.
because it is kind of sad he doesn't have something.
The little things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in just a moment, we're going to put up a poll for our audience to vote on their most inspiring moment. So while we all think of our standout instances, I'm going to go through the chat and see if anybody named one. I feel like the trouble with this episode is there wasn't any big acts, not like the last one, where I captured a cockatrice, I drugged the student body, you know. You guys were just kind of awesome in general throughout.
Yeah, I vibe with that. I feel like you
Yeah,
set us up in nice areas, and we all kind of did our thing.
Yeah, this was just kind of like an RP sesh. It was cool in that regard. It's just that's what it was.
Yeah.
The blonde boy, does he kind of look like? Wait, has everybody here watched Stranger Things? Am I allowed to ask? Well, is he look like that actor from Stranger Things? I won't say what his name is if people haven't been caught up. The blonde guy, the hospital help.
Oh, you're talking about
Yes, that's
I'm just
it.
trying not to call him by his
the
name.
orderly. The orderly.
Yes,
We'll call him by his position.
Yes. Does he kind of look like that guy that I was dueling? That's kind of what I was imagining.
Honestly, that's not where I was drawing inspiration from, but a
Okay.
little bit. Our boy is about, I would say, a similar age, if not a little younger. Like he's an undergraduate student, is what I would call him. With a long pointed face like that and angular features. His hair is shaggier and more wild.
I was gonna say like Eddie's hair. If it was
Like
like Eddie was blonde.
It's more like the orderlies, and it's that length. Just the orderly had a coif,
Yeah.
This guy, it doesn't. I mean, it's a mess. The same way that Tom, the shaggy-haired blonde boy with round glasses and a striped scarf, is the exact same. Just his is platinum blonde, so it's also lighter than the orderly's hair.
I wonder if
But
they-
Perfect.
wow,
and that's not
yeah,
giving
if you
and that's
wanna
not giving
if
anything
you wanna
away for
picture
people who haven't seen it in the chat. That's not giving anything away because
No,
that's
it's
just a
not. It's
position.
just a
We're
guy
not
who
telling you
works
anything. He's just a
it's a guy who works at
character.
a place. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a guy who works at a
exactly.
place.
Yeah.
But you kind of nailed it. Like that is the look. The
Okay.
orderly is dressed way better though. The way is way sharper dressed. The hair is
Gotcha.
combed on the
Are
orderly,
Tom
you
and
know.
Hank, are they like related? Oh, I didn't even think about this. I have so
Yeah.
many questions.
Yeah, that's why they
Did I
told
not?
Hank.
Oh, they're related. Now I know that for real. They're brothers.
Ah, I let it
How
slip.
did you
Yeah.
already know
Blonde
that?
and brown.
All right.
He told us.
Okay.
You
But,
should have
yeah.
been able to figure it out because they both have the same last name
Well, that's fair.
and they
I
both
should
look
take
alike
notes.
and they both were consoling each other. So yes, they're
Okay.
brothers.
My vote for my inspirational moment, I think, is going to go to the Blue Cape of Wonder from Paris, Color Pop, because I thought it was so cool. And as a kid, I always thought capes were awesome. I always wanted a cape, so I was like, yes, that was
I
great.
feel like I was literally channeling you, Garrett, during that moment.
I'll take it.
Yeah, the if you're in the chat, go ahead and cast your votes. You have until we end this session, which will be soon. But yes, thank you for casting your vote, Garrett. That's a great one. That was a great moment. That was really
vote
that was
for
very
Paris.
inspired.
I vote for Paris too. I love
okay.
the whole dueling thing. Yeah, it was impressive.
Okay.
I'll go for JJ putting the little spell on his head, trying to actually talk to his orangutan. I feel like that's what Paris is wanting him to do the whole
That
time.
was
Because
so
finally,
cool.
character development with that thick ass head of his.
That was so
Wow.
cool.
I love you.
And
It's not your
I'll
head,
say
it's Alex's or whatever JJ's head. Sorry, I'm sorry. You know who I'm
I will
talking about?
say-
This guy, not
It
this
wouldn't
guy.
be a session if we didn't get Alex and JJ confused once.
yeah, Garrett, I'm not trying to influence the vote here, but you and I are gonna have to have a conversation soon about your orangutan because I thought that was really cool. I thought it was
Oh,
really
neat. I'm excited. I feel like I'm feeling it out. I remember when we brought this up, and I was like, we'll figure it out during the game. And now we're doing that.
Now
so
we
that's
kind of
neat.
have to though. Now we
Yeah.
kind of have to actually have a conversation about it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna second JJ wand to his head. Like, all right, I'm gonna do
Goes
something.
bold.
Check this out. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't tell you the consequence though, because you didn't roll like you were successful-ish.
I matched.
Yeah, you matched. So the consequence of that is you didn't get his thoughts, but you got his feelings.
Right.
And you
Right.
didn't mess with your head, you messed with your gut. You're very hungry.
Well, thank
'Cause he's
God I
hungry.
didn't poop.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Mm.
So I have to take. I should write that down. Otherwise, I'm going to forget for the next session.
Yeah.
I
So
am.
both of you guys are probably itching to get
Yeah, I'm probably
something
really
from lunch
hungry,
before
too.
it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you both didn't catch, we end it. We're at the end of their class.
Yeah,
and your
but to
classes
be fair,
should
it
be
kind
starting.
like
Even time hopped back to them though, so.
No,
Yeah,
we
man.
will, because I'm not going to be so strict as to figure out do not ask me how long the classes are. I don't know how long lunch is. It's as long as we need it to be. Yeah, but we're approaching the end of lunch.
Fair enough.
that's lunch.
Just saying.
Sweet.
All right. Thank you for casting your votes. Chat, remember you guys have a chance to cast your vote. And then next week, you will have a chance to have a walk-on roll here on Dungeons and Detentions. But this isn't the only show that we've got here on Broadstrokes Plays. Tomorrow night, Justin will be resuming Stray, where you can live like a cat. You can be a cat in the future. And so you can join him and his cat for that Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And then I'll be coming back on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for more Pokemon Snap. I love that we're all on an animal kick right now. So, yeah, tune in for more variety down the week. And then tune in next week for the next chapter of Dungeons and Detention. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here! Thanks for being here!